Hey, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos a otro episodio de South of the Cycle. Vamos a continuar. Joder, tengo aquí una esta de cables mal colocados que vamos. Vale, llegamos en el capítulo anterior a un puesto soviético, o sea, un puesto enemigo. Y ahora se supone que nos dirigimos... ¿A dónde era? Pues sí, bueno, lo escucho altísimo, ¿no? Bueno, espérate, que lo escucho de repente, lo escucho súper alto. O sea, yo de verdad que alucino con este juego. Vale, a ver. Que igual luego se me escucha bien, ¿eh? Vale,
I have to admit, I'm a bit nervous getting into the passenger side.
¿qué es esto?
Nervous? Why?
I've seen you driving.
¿Esto cómo conduces?
Do you want a lift or not?
Sorry, old chap, of course.
Pero esto... ¿Por qué empezamos aquí? ¿Qué es esto? O sea, ¿qué es esto, chicos?
Right, let's see if we can solve this. Cryptic one this time. 2 down, 8 letters, begins with U.
No sé, me acabo de perder totalmente, o sea, no sé qué es esto. ¿Qué?
Unhinged?
Ah, now I'm pleased I took the lift with you. Unhinged. You sure you wouldn't be happier in the English department? It's the only reason I buy these things now. Although, there was that one story I wanted to read, can you believe it? About that Molly girl.
I haven't heard anything. What story?
Oh. No, you've been away in Scotland again, haven't you? Lucky you. The lecturer, Molly Shanahan. Got taken away yesterday.
A ver, un momento, o sea, esto seguirá desde donde lo dejamos. A ver, doy por hecho que cuando pillamos el coche para salir del puesto soviético, ¿os acordáis? Que yo creo que lo dejé igual por ahí, ¿no? En mitad de la nieve con el coche. Que teníamos que ir a otro lugar, ¿os acordáis? Y igual lo dejé aquí, entonces ahora empieza justo aquí con un recuerdo. Pero no sé, es que me ha pillado de sorpresa, la verdad. Y estoy aquí ahora perdidísima. Vale, ahora están hablando de Molly. Molly es la amiga de Clara, se llamaba, la protagonista. Bueno, sí, la chica. La que hacía lo de las manifestaciones y tal. O sea, que la detuvieron en el campus. Ojito.
Was a right stir outside college. Black cars blocking the road. Plainclothes police, or so it looked. Photographs here on page 2.
I know her. She's the one that wears the red jacket.
Well, I don't know about that. This one could be red. Bit of a giveaway if it was. But you know her.
¿La conoces?
She's a friend. Well, a friend.
Vale,
of
sí, la amiga de Clara.
Good lord. You're not mixed up in all this, are you?
Metido en esto.
I don't know what all this is. Can you read it?
Well, it says here she's rumoured to have links with the Communist Party of the
De
Soviet
la Unión
Union.
Soviética.
Miss Shanahan, lecturer at Newhall College, Cambridge, was known to be associated with the CND and other anti-nuclear weapons organisations, all of which have come under suspicion since the marches on Whitehall earlier this year. She has been charged with handling data sensitive to Her Majesty's government and passing that data to contacts in Moscow.
Ah, o sea, que esta igual era la sospechosa, ¿no? Bueno, la sospechosa.
It's going to make the professor jumpy. Not the reason he wanted the university in the papers.
¿Os acordáis que dijeron que había una espía?
She was working alone and how the university deal with the fallout. Well, same as usual, I suppose. Just carry on.
Joder.
Molly and Clara were good friends. I hope this won't come back on her.
Oh, so Clara's that friend you mentioned then?
She is.
Joder.
Should be worried sick.
Look, despite all this newspaper talk, it's only questioning. I wouldn't get too worked up about it.
You seem very calm about all this.
Well, of course I hate to see it, but you know, nothing to do with us, old chap.
You're right. You're right.
It'll blow over soon, I'm sure.
I wouldn't be so sure. What if this
Hombre,
is just
esperemos que
a
Clara no esté
All
metida en el ajo.
Let's take another look at this one. 4 across, 9 letters, begins with T. Oh, this is what I am when you're driving. Rhymes with
Asustado.
verified.
Rima con verificado. Asustado. Ah, que no le he dado.
Okay, I get the message.
Just gonna write that one down. If I should live long enough.
No, keep going. No, come on. Oh, please, keep going a bit further, No.
¿Esto es el presente o...? Ahí no está el tío, ¿no? O sea, esto es ahora mismo, ¿no? ¿O
Damn
qué?
it!
Vaya por Dios. ¿Nos hemos quedado aquí en mitad de la nada? ¿En serio? O sea, esto es en el presente, ¿no? Sí, sí, sí. Vale, pues nos hemos quedado aquí a mitad. ¿Y ahora qué? Qué liada, ¿no? ¿Y ahora qué hacemos aquí? Pues nos toca andar, ¿no? Joder, sí, pues aquí yo no veo ni casas ni nada.
This is really state-of-the-art technology. It weighs a ton.
Come on, you can do it.
I know.
It's just what I could cobble together with a meager budget.
I just wanted to make sure that if I was carrying the kitchen sink, it was a scientifically useful kitchen sink.
Vale. Sí, es que vamos como recordando cosas, ¿no? Del pasado. Vale, yo creo que si mantengo pulsado...
I've been
Ah, no,
meaning
va
to
solo.
tell you, I heard from Molly just before
Con
we
Molly.
left.
Oh, I hadn't heard anything since she was arrested.
Me neither until now. Well, it's been awful, as you'd expect. Arrested and questioned like that for so long.
Joder. Con Molly. Vale.
She sounded a bit shaken. Didn't sound like her at all.
So is she still under arrest?
Well, that's what she was calling about. She was being released without charge.
Ah, eso es buena noticia, ¿no?
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Well, it's better than her still being locked up, that's for certain, but something was a little off about it.
You suspect something's going on? Foul play?
Something must be going on. But I can't put my finger on it. She wasn't being very clear. She wasn't sure if she wants to come back to college. I don't know when I'll see her again.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be back.
It's just... I hope it doesn't ruin things. Her academic career, everything, you know? So many people think that where there's smoke, there's fire. It's bloody unfair.
You don't know she's not coming back.
No, but I know there are people who'd much rather she didn't.
I wouldn't like to be in her shoes, that's for sure.
This Cold War suddenly feels a bit real, doesn't it?
Pues la verdad es que sí. Es que estamos en plena Guerra Fría, ¿eh? Y claro, empezar a hacer manifestaciones sobre eso, pues al final, en esa época, imagino que, hombre, los policías te ven haciendo manifestaciones contra que si las armas nucleares, que si no sé qué, pues claro, en plena guerra, ¿qué van a hacer, no? Pues... llevarte a prisión e interrogarte, es lo mínimo que van a hacer. Vale, estamos aquí, pues eso, en mitad de la nieve, buscando ayuda. Nuestro amigo está mal. No sé si era el pie lo que tenía mal. No sé qué va a pasar aquí, chicos, la verdad. Tengo ni idea. Vale. Hemos llegado aquí.
Hello?
Hello!
¿Es un globo? ¿Qué es eso?
Shall I send it up?
¿Lo suelto ya?
On the count of 3. 1...
Too late!
Adiós. Qué guay.
I'll never tire of doing that. Taken all your readings? I've just completed mine for the day.
Oh, that was quick.
Oh, well, you know me. Ready for the walk back?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Although, there's something I want you to see first.
Vale.
Sounds intriguing.
Follow me, you'll see. Fancy we climb?
¿Te apetece una escaladita?
Of course.
Come on. Together we can make it to the top.
Venga, vamos. A escalar, se ha dicho.
Here, put one hand here, it'll help you up. can do this as a girl, I can do it again now.
Your parents allowed you to climb this.
They didn't know. My brother took me.
Vale, que... Ah, vale, que tengo que seguir. Digo, ¿qué pasa aquí? ¿Nadie se mueve? Vale, vale. Tengo que
Those
seguir.
readings, Peter. I've been wanting to talk to you about them.
Estas lecturas.
Are they consistent with what they've been reporting in South America?
They're not as high, but they're high. Oh, your equations still work. It doesn't disprove the model. We can still plot the paths of the air currents. But still, something's not right.
Vale, están viendo, no sé, algún fenómeno climático o algo, ¿no? Ok. Ya sabéis que Peter está haciendo la tesis, ¿no? Sobre las nubes o algo así. No sé muy bien. ¿Vale? ¿Dónde estamos? Un pájaro. ¿Un águila o qué es eso?
Keep down.
Que no le he dado aquí.
What is it?
The white-tailed eagle. Haven't seen one
Perdón,
in
estaba justo
years.
mirando el móvil. Que tenía aquí algo. Hace años que no veo uno.
Amazing things.
It's
Un
caught
pigargo.
something.
Ha capturado algo. ¿Qué ha capturado?
This is special. I thought they were extinct, poisoned by pesticides.
She's come out just for us.
A new life, eh?
Adiós.
Oh,
Wonder if we'll see anything like that again. Wonder where it came from.
Bueno, el coche, tío. ¡Buf! De verdad, ¿eh? Vale. Seguimos. No, es que no sabéis el calor que está haciendo estos días, o
it
sea...
makes me think, where did it come from? I mean, the extra radiation. Where did
Ah, para
that
la
come from?
radiación.
You sure it's not a quirk of all this new equipment?
Y es verdad que están hablando mucho sobre la radiación y tal. Vale.
All the instruments can't be giving inflated readings. Oh, come on, take my hand. There you go.
Vamos.
Right. Let's try and work it out.
Vale.
All right, so what do we know? We know the readings are at their highest down in the southern hemisphere.
And not as high here, up north.
Right.
Vale.
It's being diluted somehow, is my thinking. Mixed in by all the currents.
That would make sense.
Well, it's heading from the south up to the north.
Yes.
No sé yo lo que vosotros digáis, porque no me estoy enterando de nada. Bueno, a ver, sí, pero... pero no es exactamente que... O sea, no sé. A ver. Sube, sube. ¿Qué pasa, tío? Pero sube. Bueno. Perdón. Es que... Madre mía, ya le cuesta, ¿eh?
Your model of the air currents. That would prove that's what's happening, that there's this general movement north.
I think we need to find out where this radiation came from in the first place.
We've been running the model forwards all this time, but our starting point has always been South America.
I could look again at the model, perhaps.
Run it differently, you mean?
Run it backwards. See where these air currents originate.
The radiation has to be coming from somewhere.
La radiación.
Somewhere further south.
South of the Antarctic Circle, maybe? I don't know. Whatever this is, people are going to want to hear about it.
I hope so.
I think we might be onto something.
Pero la radiación será por todas las armas, ¿no? Que están usando algo. de la guerra, ¿o qué? Oh.
This is bigger than just clouds, you mean?
Bigger than clouds! Although I know you can't believe
Wait.
such a thing.
Ah, I might, given the chance.
It might be what this paper's meant to be about.
Vale, continuamos. Madre mía, sí que estamos escalando, ¿eh? Sé que en este juego tampoco estoy hablando mucho, pero es que tampoco tengo mucho, ¿sabes?, qué decir. Al final estoy escuchando pues la historia, lo que está pasando y todo eso. Vale.
Look at this.
Madre mía, las nubes, chaval. Joder. Bueno, las nubes
Hold on.
del paisaje, básicamente.
Just want to get a bit higher. I know a spot.
Joder. Esta no para, ¿eh? Esta no para.
It's windy up here. Are you cold?
Bueno,
Cold.
frío yo.
The very idea.
Parece el mismo lugar, ¿no? Por donde fuimos. Qué cosas, tío. Cómo relaciona el pasado con el presente, ¿eh? Increíble. Vale.
It's beautiful.
Hombre,
Isn't
la
it?
verdad que sí, pero es precioso, o sea, es súper bonito.
Oh, it's a beautiful view. Huh. It would be a beautiful thing.
It would be. If you wanted to do it. It would change the whole focus of the paper. You might be needing some help.
Would you like to help me with it?
Writing it? Well, of course. It could be that beautiful subject I was talking about.
Oh, so now it's yours, is it?
Of course not. It could be ours, though. This
Oh.
beautiful thing. If you wanted it to be.
Come here.
Qué bonito. Qué majos. Oh, qué bonito. Qué guay. Es que y mira qué bonito,
Knew it
eh.
wouldn't last.
Ya se están yendo las
The
nubes.
rain.
Oh,
Think we could make it to those trees down there?
if we run.
Here it comes.
Vamos.
If it hits us, you could take my jacket.
Promise me that?
¿Me prometes de verdad?
Promise you
Prometido.
that.
Let's go then.
Si ya está lloviendo ya. Si ya está cayendo. Buah, mirad, la que está cayendo. Y siempre están justo en lo alto, tío. Vale, cuidado. Sin mucho correr, pero...
This isn't the way back, is it?
I know another way around. Don't worry. We'll get less wet.
¿Seguro?
Wait!
Buah, que se cae.
It's exciting, isn't it?
This! No!
I mean the new idea, the paper.
Yes! Yes, it's
¿Cómo
great!
corren?
It's great. Really. Finally.
Me da miedo, tío. No les pasará algo, ¿no? ¿Qué te pasa? Ah, vale. Se va a perder, o algo. Algo va a pasar aquí. ¿Por qué va tan está cansado, ¿no? ¿O qué? Mira, si parece que va a pedo. Y no está. Bueno, la otra podría esperar, ¿no? Que no está, Clara. Está parando ya de llover, ¿no? Ah, no, no, no. Clara, o sea, ¿no me esperas? Este pobre hombre está que no puede más. Vale, estaremos ahora en mitad de la nieve. Vale, fanfare. Una montaña rusa aquí, una feria. ¿Y por qué hay gente? Hay como personas, pero que no... O sea, no sé qué es eso. Fanfare. ¿Qué narices es esto, tío? O sea, ¿what? Está parado. Ah, vale, vale, vale. No hay nada.
It's so much better at night, don't you think?
Oh, it's beautiful.
I saw them setting up this afternoon. It was all chaos and scaffolding, but now it's more... Oh, I don't know. Exciting, I suppose. Not just all that. This.
This.
You realize this is a big occasion, don't you? It's the first time you've taken me out, Dr. Hamilton.
No.
At night? In public? Not working, not hiding a wee anywhere. We're out. Courting.
Cuddly toy?
Oh, you know me so well. Go on then.
Bullseye, como el Hard West.
Watch this.
Presta atención, ojo.
Good grief, what are you doing?
As you said, courting.
Are you now?
10 tiros, señor, aquí tiene.
10 shots, sir. There you
Vale.
go. Knock down all the cans.
10
but it's
tiros.
yours. Or more likely yours. Well,
I think this one's more for him.
Not many men can do what I'm about to do.
And you have good aim, do you, my knight in shining armor?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I always thought I'd be good in the army.
If only books hadn't gotten in the way.
No tendré que
Go on
disparar
then,
yo, ¿no?
Prove yourself, army man.
Venga, va. ¿Vale?
Well now, maybe I had you all wrong.
Pero ¿cómo hago pa...? Ah, vale. No tengo tiempo, ¿no?
You really don't
Vale.
need to prove anything.
that's it, my lad. Only another 5 of them.
Ostras. Ah, es que nos enseñó nuestro padre, ¿no? Igual a disparar. ¿Vale?
We'll make a soldier of you yet, Pete, my boy.
Ojo. ¡Qué guay!
Now, what's
Eh?
he up to, cheeky little bugger? Spoiling our game. Go on, see if you can get him.
Que no quiero atrapar al pájaro.
Ah! You missed him.
Que no le voy a dar al pájaro. ¿Tengo que dar al pájaro? No quiero.
That's enough, I think.
What's the matter, Peter?
I'm fine.
Ah, ¿en serio? Que eso ha afectado a... Joder. ¿Eso ha afectado y no haberle disparado al pájaro ha afectado en esto?
Clara?
¿Narices? ¿Qué está pasando aquí? ¿Y por qué no se ve nada? Vale. ¿Qué está pasando aquí? No hay nadie. Es que no sé si ha afectado el hecho de no disparar al pájaro. Pero yo no iba a disparar al pájaro, o sea... ¿Estás contando? Prueba tu suerte. No sé si tengo que venir aquí o qué tengo que hacer. Ay, la verdad, el juego es extraño. O sea, es muy raro. Vale, ¿a dónde estamos yendo? Una puerta aquí. Vale, esto es ahora. Pero... Yo no entiendo, o sea, estamos yendo por los... radiactividad, ¿no? Radiación, eso. Pero no puedo entrar ahí. Bueno, no, ¿para qué vas a entrar, no? Si pone radiación. ¿Qué está pasando aquí? Eso digo yo. Tomamos un poco la shit, ¿no? Es súper extraño todo, o sea, es todo muy raro. Vale, ¿dónde estamos? Una fábrica, ¿no? Parece esto. Vale, vamos por aquí. No, son como fábricas o... No sé, yo voy andando y... Al final, en este juego estoy más andando que otra cosa. La verdad. CCCP. Vale, aquí hay una puerta abierta. Una radio. Vamos a ver. Vale, a ver si conseguimos hablar con nuestro amigo, ¿no? Con Floyd, era. No sé para dónde. Pero aquí se escuchan cosas, ¿no? Sí. Aquí.
Floyd, are you there?
No, no tengo buenas noticias.
Tell me some good news.
Oh, not yet, Floyd. I'm sorry. There was barely any fuel. I've walked all this way.
Are you all right, Peter? Where are you?
¿Dónde estás? No lo sé.
At some kind of base. Not the one we're looking for.
Another base.
No, no hay nadie.
People there.
¿Eh?
There were lots
¿Eh?
at the
No
fun
digas
fair.
eso.
Clara was there.
What the hell? Mate.
No, no estoy en mis cabales.
No, there was no one. Just a mine, a radioactive symbol.
God, where the hell are we?
Veo un barco allí, al fondo. Exacto, un barco.
Floyd, I can see the ship at last. Mountains,
Eso es.
bay, ship, like we said.
Lo veo, lo veo.
I can see it on the far side of the water. And there's
Aquí.
a boat, a small boat on this side.
Okay, so that's something. Do you think you can use it to get across?
Sí,
It might just kill me, but what else can I do?
exacto.
Except stay here.
Yeah, and that'll kill you too. You don't want to give up this close to the finish line. I'm counting on you.
Cuento contigo.
We're not going to
Exacto.
die out here. You can count on me.
Peter, please listen to me. You know where you are now. This is the last push. You've made it this far. I know you can
Lo
do it.
intentaré, Floyd. Buah, estoy aquí tiritando, pero... y cansado y de todo, pero vale.
Hello?
¿Hola?
I'm here. I can do it.
Sí, sí, es que estoy temblando de frío.
No. If you hang around, we've got a problem, mate. There's a
Uf,
storm
verás
coming
tú.
your way. I know because I'm in the thick of it now. You don't want to get caught out on
Hombre,
the
pues
water
no, la
with
verdad es que
everything.
no. No me haría gracia.
Look, I know you're tired, Peter. But if you don't get moving now, you'll never cross the water. Who knows when the storm will clear? You gotta leave now.
Vale, vale, tengo que marcharme ya, vale.
It's all I've got, Floyd. You know that. I'm giving it everything.
You have to. Please, Peter.
Joder,
I
chaval.
don't want to die here.
Duro, ¿eh?
All right.
All right.
Duro de... Es que está todo en mis manos.
Yes.
Y mira cómo
I'm ready.
estamos.
Go on, mate.
Venga, pues nosotros podemos. Peter, tú
Get
puedes.
out of there. Go on.
Tú puedes, Peter. Venga, venga. Tú puedes, claro que sí. Venga. Pronto llegarás a casa, donde sea, y te calentarás. Y venga, hay que hacerlo. Hay que salvar a Floyd y todo.
Peter, good to see you at last. You look well.
We were just talking about you, old chap.
Here, you got the first round in to celebrate.
Celebrate?
Heard the paper's going shockingly well at
La
last.
tesis.
It is, thank you.
John, your eminent professor, mentioned it. Gather you showed him an early copy.
Word spreads when something's good, that's all.
Never seen the man so delighted. So, I propose a toast. To
Propongo un
Peter.
brindis por
Peter.
Peter.
To me?
May this be one foot inside the club. So all in all, I hear it's been a very productive summer. Got everything you wanted in Scotland.
It's an inspiring place, yes. Very beautiful.
Oh, she is. She is.
What are you talking about?
My hands are clean. I just mentioned Clara.
That was it. Clara, good man, Peter. Like I said, inspiration.
Sorry, shouldn't I have said anything?
I'd rather it was kept quiet. I don't want anyone getting the wrong idea, that's all. Clara's been helping with the readings and...
Helping. Well, bit of note-taking here and there, filing.
Archivando.
that kind of thing. A lot of writing, too.
I thought it was more, assisting them writing.
Apoyar en hora de redactar.
No, she's done a lot on it now. Changed the focus of it a little, too.
Oh, I see. So wouldn't that make it a joint paper?
Sam,
Hombre.
I think we all know that Peter is the real professor in waiting here. I think he knows better than anyone how much he put into it and who wrote what. Isn't that right, Peter?
Of course.
And he's well aware his chances of promotion would be considerably lower if he'd only done half the work in collaboration.
Of course I'm aware. Of course.
Fine.
Vale, no tendría que haber contestado eso.
Collaboration isn't a bad thing.
I agree.
Unless, of course, you're that girl Molly, collaborating with the communists.
I think the word you're looking for is collusion.
Well, didn't work out too well for her either way. Shame, really. I'd have happily colluded with her.
Joe.
Ah, you're right. Too complicated. I prefer things with fewer strings attached. Having the KGB and MI5 watching through the curtains, that would really put me off.
Molly didn't deserve all that. I wonder what's happened to her.
Well, she hasn't come back for the start of term yet, apparently. Beyond that, who knows? A vanishing lecturer.
Someone must know something.
You're not worried, are you? You've got no secrets to hide?
¿Tiene secretos que ocultar?
Not anymore, thanks to Sam.
Sorry, old chap. It's all water under the bridge. New term, things will have settled down. Fresh start and all that.
My thoughts exactly. New term, new students. Speaking of which, what do you think of those two over there?
Them? Very nice, I'm sure.
Joe, don't.
Hold this, will you?
Are you leaving us?
Don't be so possessive, Peter. What are you, the wife?
¿Dónde vas, tío? No, ¿qué va? ¿Dónde
Like you
las
said,
dos?
Sam, never too late for a fresh start. I meant what I said. Hearty congratulations on the paper. You always had that passion, much more than the rest of us. And this sounds like that old conundrum, women or work. Just don't forget your years of struggle. Don't miss this opportunity now. Wouldn't want you missing out on what you deserve.
Thank you.
Right. I'm off to get what I deserve. Don't wait up, chaps.
You're a disgrace, Joe.
Joder, que va para allá.
Absolutely shocking.
He keeps doing that, doesn't he?
How does he keep doing it and getting away with it?
Vale, venga, va, Peter. Tenemos que ir al bote. Vamos, nosotros podemos. No está lejos, parece que está cerca, pero el barco está lejos. O sea, no es por nada. Vale.
Come on, Pete, pay attention. Head in the bloody clouds again. That's your problem. Pick up the oars and row like I told you.
¿Qué?
Faster than that, son.
Ah, vale, que somos
Both
nosotros.
in time.
Vale, vale. Es nuestro padre y
Doing my
nosotros.
best.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Pues al final, gracias a nuestro padre, igual vamos a sobrevivir y todo.
Keep your weight in the middle, too. You don't want to tip us in. What a wonderful start to the holiday that would be.
Do you want to help?
No, this is a test of your listening, son, and trying to work things out for yourself.
Joder con el padre, tío.
How would you learn if I did everything for you, eh?
I didn't mean do it all, just take an oar, maybe.
Well, say I did, and you could only work one oar. Then where would we be? We'd be going round in circles.
Joder, padre.
Oh, now, look, there's a strong current coming up. It's a good test, son. Now, remember what I taught you, and this won't be a problem. Keep her straight and true. Strong arms. I said strong. No, 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 no!
Madre mía.
Trying.
That side! Harder on the port side!
Help!
Jesus, Pete, that one!
Ay, ay, ay. ¿Le está pasando lo mismo ahora o qué? ¿Qué pasa?
Oh, come on, give it here! Give it here! God, you get back there, I'll do it.
A ver, padre, o sea, me podías decir las cosas con más calma, ¿no, tío? No chillando. También tú. Este tío, mira cómo me habla. Madre mía, tío.
Maybe you're right.
Pobre Peter, o sea...
Come on. Prove you can go the rest of the way. Current's not as strong now. Here you go.
Pues así, si me hablas así, pues bien, pero no me hables gritándome. Tío. Es que pobre.
I have done my best, Peter. Whatever you do in life, you can't expect anyone to do things for you. My experience. I won't always be here to help. And there'll come a time when you've got to prove you can do something.
Pues creo que ese día ya ha llegado. Sí, ese día ya ha llegado, efectivamente. ¿Eh? ¿Por qué está aquí? Es que es como raro, ¿por qué?
Ahoy! Good row, Captain Hamilton.
Oh, get me away from this thing.
Es como que se mezcla todo, tío, y es un poco... Vale.
It looks calm out there, but it's rougher than you think.
Oh, it does look nice and calm, you're right.
It's the current. Can't you see it?
It's very nasty ripples. It's practically a storm surge.
I think if the wind had been in another direction...
Oh, come here. Don't you know me at all by now? Come on, let's walk.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, I've got used to being this relaxed. What's it going to be like getting back to college, having to smarten ourselves up? I really like you like this. It's nice. Remember when we met on that train and you're so self-conscious about your tie?
Oh, I remember. Seems silly now, eh? You were wearing that lovely sweater you got on now, weren't you?
Es verdad, ¿no?
Not this. Well, I only bought it recently. It's a new
No,
color for
no
me.
¿no iba de blanco?
You sure about that?
Positive. Oh, strange. So, do you want the good news?
Sí.
Absolutely.
While you're out, I checked with the hotel and they said we could stay another night.
Ah, mira, qué
And I
bien.
thought, why not? Extend this holiday as long as we can. Extend the celebration.
Celebration?
Oh, you know, the summer of work. The fact that it's practically all done now, and perhaps we could celebrate us too.
Us? Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Mr. Absolutely Hamilton.
Oh, stop it. I don't say it like that.
You do, and that's fine.
Ready to go home soon?
Not in the slightest. Oh, so pretty. Oh, look at these houses. Oh, if I had found someone I could row with, perhaps I could be living here.
Hey, I can row.
Well, that's good, because I think I might be in love.
Oh? Me too.
Oh, those two houses up on the cliff, look. Oh, which one should we have, the red or the blue?
¿La roja o la azul?
It's tricky. Why not both?
Oh, go on, pick one.
Elige una. La azul.
Okay. Blue.
My choice exactly.
Oh, almost like I knew what you were going to say.
Well, either house looks big enough for me. Maybe more than me one day.
Quizá habrá más gente algún día. Un perro.
Dog?
Why not?
Bueno, iba a decir la familia, pero me ha dado tiempo.
Play with it, perhaps.
What about your work? Wouldn't you want to finish that first?
Well, finish work before I settle down, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I love my work. You know I do. I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to keep going as long as I can. I don't see why it has to be one or the
Exacto,
other.
hombre.
Would you give up work to have children?
¿Solo por tener hijos?
I would. I really would.
No, well, I think the thing is, I wouldn't expect a man to give it all up. Not if he really loved his work. So why does the rest of the world think that we should give it all up? I keep thinking about all these bright young women I'm teaching, and I'm scared. I'm scared that despite all they've achieved, despite the fact that they're walking out into the world with a degree from Cambridge, the first thing they'll be asked is, how fast can you type?
You're probably right. It's a real waste of talent.
It really is a waste, you're right. Even the jobs they get, they're not expected to keep once they've had children. All it needs is people to stand up to it.
Well, Molly was taking a stand. Do you think that changed anything?
Not a woman this time. Women have been making a stand, throwing themselves under horses since the suffragettes. We need men to start fighting for it.
You can count on me.
Estaba pensando, digo...
I hope you do make a stand. Won't become part of all that. It's not easy, you know. A lot of people are still living in the dark ages about all this. Your professor, for one, I'll bet.
Oh, he's not as bad as you think.
I wouldn't be so sure. He doesn't know about any of this, does he?
This work?
Exactly. The work we've done. You will tell him, won't you?
Se lo vas a decir, ¿verdad? No sé.
Of course I will. I'll go straight to his office as soon as we're back.
You promised me that.
Prometido.
Promise you that.
Good.
This is good, isn't it?
It is.
Decía eso, que las consecuencias que vamos eligiendo aquí, el PER, la casa azul, no sé qué, ¿será para algo? ¿Será que luego con eso va a hacer como una historia dependiendo de lo que le hemos elegido? Es que no sé muy bien porque me aparecen, ¿no?, aquí las diferentes cosas que hemos ido eligiendo. No sé. Ese es el Lumi. No sé. Vale, ya estamos en el barco, pero no parece que haya nadie tampoco aquí, ¿no? O sea, no tiene pinta de que haya nadie aquí. La verdad. O sea... ahí hay una puerta allí. Vale. Entremos. Venga, hay alguien.
Peter, marvelous to see you. Do come in. Take a seat. I have to say, I'm delighted.
Estoy encantado.
You read the final draft?
Of course, all the salient points. I must say it's very impressive.
You think so? Thank you.
Not at all. It's your work. I think the direction you took it gave it something of real value. Well, as I say, quite apart from the climate side of things, the method you developed to track radiation, I can see it having far-reaching implications, and not just in your own field. It's marvelous.
Es maravilloso.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, first-rate piece of work, Peter. First-rate. This other name on here, Dr. Clara McKirrick?
Supongo que vamos a quitarlo, ¿no? No. ¿Cómo hago para decirle que no lo quiero quitar?
Clara was responsible for half the
Ah, vale.
Professor. I couldn't
Oh, well, I understand you probably had some little research assistance, but...
Yo la quiero incluir. Es que no la quiero liar con los botones, tío.
we just don't usually put the name on the front cover of the paper.
Es que no sé cuál es.
Yeah. Clara did more
Exacto.
than a little research.
Really? Oh, well, I see. Tell me, have you seen your friend Joseph recently?
¿O a Samuel?
I have.
Doing so well in their new positions. I would dearly love to see the same for you, Peter. And more for you, in fact.
Well, thank you.
It would be so well deserved after all these years, especially after the risk I took.
Risk?
A boy from a grammar school, first in his family to make it to university, you know what I'm saying. It's been really wonderful to give you this opportunity. I would just hate you to throw it away by misattributing your own hard work, that's all, for whatever reasons you might have.
Pero es que a mí no me...
I appreciate your
Exacto, que
concern,
sí.
but Clara is responsible for the work on this too.
Well, as I say,
Qué pesado eres, que Clara me ha ayudado.
good, and I'm not the only one who thinks so.
You've given it to someone else already.
I knew a few who I thought might be interested. I thought you'd be pleased. In fact, I think you might want to prepare yourself for being the center of attention for a little while. I'm sure you would be able to cope, but I think it's perhaps not quite the
Bueno,
sort of thing
machista.
you'd like to foist on a young woman's shoulders.
I see. And okay.
No, es que no quiero decirle eso. Es que no te dice que no quiero eso. No quiero decirle eso.
And I've no doubt you'd be up to the challenge yourself.
Joder.
With this name on here,
Que no quiero borrar el nombre. O sea, es que ahora la vamos a liar aquí.
I'm sure I could handle them.
this isn't all about you, I'm afraid. There could be problems for everyone. Clara was close with Molly Shanahan, wasn't she? The one suspected of being a communist spy.
Era su amiga. Es que no sé qué tengo que decirle.
I'm afraid I don't know.
Well, it's true.
Ah,
How
joder.
close they were is the real question. Clara joined Molly on that anti-British protest march, I hear.
It was anti-nuclear defense, not anti-British.
Well, you know my thoughts on that. They can be one and the same thing. A lot of people, very important people, believe you are either with this country or against it. Some of the benefactors of this college, for example. My father used to call this university one of the greatest contributions Britain has made to the world. I would agree with that.
¿Tú no?
Wouldn't you?
One of the greatest. Really? Well, it does some great work.
It does. I'd hate to be the one to undermine it. The affair with this Cambridge 4 business has been bad enough. We can't change the past, Peter. But we can learn from it. Before we fool ourselves into remembering it too kindly. Now, with this name on here, and the association...
Sí, sé a lo que te refieres, pero es que no...
You see what I'm saying?
¿Entiendes a qué me refiero?
I see.
Vale, sí.
But I really think her name should stay.
Es que se lo he prometido a Clara.
Peter, I am trying to make you
Que
understand.
ya sé lo que me quieres decir.
This is precisely the way the rot sets in. It's the slow knife. Members of this university were recruited to spy for the Soviet Union 10 years ago. Now members of this university are demanding we lay down our weapons. The only defense we have against the very same foreign power. What happens in 10 years' time? And what happens to the integrity of this college in 10 years? If you share your work on a whim with a girl you've taken a fancy to, and what happens 10 years after that?
A ver.
Cannot survive by making oneself vulnerable. That is why this university is still here. That is why I am still here.
Madre mía, la charla, ¿no? Que nos ha dado.
I hope you understand how much I care about your success. It's so common for work to fade into obscurity after it's published. It would be a shame if yours were denied my full-throated support, especially after so many years.
Would. It would,
Es que no sé qué decirle, tío, porque...
Cannot make your decisions for you. By all means, publish with Clara as a co-author if you're feeling generous, but if you do, you'll have to take your chances. It would be difficult for me to bring to bear any influence I have. By way of illustration, I have an address in Whitehall to give you.
Thank you.
Afraid I can't tell you much more now, but he's a good man.
Que no quiero dejar a Clara
Okay.
al margen de esto. Que es que ya me ha ayudado, o sea, ha hecho la
You may
mitad.
find there's one more reason to leave Clara out of things. I'm sure things will become clear soon.
I think you've made things very clear.
Well, let me know what you decide. Just knock any time.
A ver,
I'd always up.
realmente si Clara me dijese, oye, aunque sé que he hecho el trabajo contigo, pues pon solo tu nombre, pues para que yo tal, pero como es ella la que también me dice, no, dile que yo también tal, pues... Será de fiar, Clara, ¿no? A ver si va a ser ahí también una espía. No. Esperemos que no. Vale, este pobre está en la... mierda, ¿eh? ¿Qué pasa? ¡Eh! Un avión, tío. No le ven. Como para verle.
Smoke. Someone's there.
Humo. Hay alguien. Vale, chicos. Uy, ¿qué hacemos? ¿Dejamos aquí el episodio? Es que no sé cuándo de verdad, cuándo se va a guardar esto, ni nada, o si continuar, o continuamos y todo del tirón. Yo creo que igual continuamos y todo del tirón. Es que no sé si queda mucho de juego. No creo que quede muchísimo, ¿no? Es que no lo sé, tío. No sé si queda mucho o no. ¿Sabéis? Hay humo ahí, ¿eh? Ojito. Es que mirad la capa de nieve que hay, ¿eh? Mirad por las rodillas. Madre mía. Es impresionante. Vamos, Peter. Esta puede ser tu salvación. La de Floyd. Vale, esta es bandera noruega, ¿no? Ok, a ver. Ah, es el barco. Es el barco que se está yendo.
No, you can't be leaving.
No.
Hey! Over here, come back! Hey!
Creo que se ha ido ya, ¿eh? Hay casas ahí. No, agárrate. Le estoy dando, le estoy dando. Venga. Ay. Venga, vamos. Peter, no te caigas. No avanza más. No avanza, No fuera bromas. No avanzaba, y de hecho no he soltado el botón. Vale, tenía que pasar, ¿no? Supongo. Sí, yo supongo que tenía que pasar esto. Madre mía. La liada, padre. Joder, es que nos hemos caído de una altura que vamos. Luego lo has bloqueado, despertar. Pues hay tumbas ahí. Oh my god. Fue algo que nos faltaba ya. El hombro. Buah. Y esto está en la shit, ¿eh? ¿Esto qué? Todo destruido, tío. Esto está todo... Madre mía.
terrible state of affairs. Anyway, you said you wanted to see me about something.
A ver.
Something you wanted to let me know.
¿Querías hacernos saber algo?
Clara came up with a big idea too.
Muy bien.
An entry.
What can I say? I respect your decision. I do admire a man who knows his own mind.
Vale. ¿Una carta o algo? Un telegrama para enviar en Morse. Secreto. De SWAT, Expedición Antártica de Estados Unidos. Estacionado en estación noruega A. SOS. Avalancha destrozó las tiendas principales. Conocimientos médicos utilizados para ayudar a los noruegos. Un hombre herido, 2 muertos. Sospechamos de actividad soviética. Viejo navío detrás de la montaña no funciona. Abandonado. Por favor, enviad barco. Ayuda, por favor. Vale. Y enviaron la ayuda, ¿no? El barco que ya estaba ahí. Hay una muleta ahí. ¿No puedo pillar esa muleta que hay ahí? ¿Por qué hay una muleta ahí? Vale, ¿cómo salgo de aquí? No lo veo, esto. No lo veo. Vale, entremos a esa otra casa a ver qué hay. Una radio, algo.
Dr. Hamilton. Peter. How do you do? So good to meet you.
How do you do?
Excuse me, I won't be a moment.
Vale.
Still 3 o'clock, yes? Oh, no need to reschedule. This won't take long. Should be very quick. Right then, please do take a seat. Delighted you could make it to London. I do hope you get the time to enjoy it a little too, considering how busy you've been recently.
Thank you. I'll try to.
Good, do. Anyway, I imagine you're wondering why we asked you here. Well, it can't have surprised you that your field of study has been of increasing interest to us, especially since the war.
Oh, you're interested in climatology?
Oh, of course. The paper is going very well, I hear.
Sí, va bien.
Well, it is now, thank you.
Oh, yes, your professor, John Hargreaves, passed us a copy. And it's impressive, the amount of information you've managed to gather. Although I imagine the process of gathering it was rather difficult on your limited budget.
I had some help.
Exacto.
Oh, yes, we heard about that. As I said, we were most impressed and wanted to make you an offer. Reward.
Considérelo una recompensa.
Reward?
Well, you've no doubt taken your budget to its limits by now. What would you say if I could guarantee you a practically unlimited budget for further study? Ensure you had the best equipment, like the Americans. Take you right to the heart of things.
The heart of things?
I believe you traced the source of the radiation back to Antarctica, didn't you?
I did.
I'd say that warrants further study on location, wouldn't you?
Hombre, no estaría mal, ¿no?
It does.
I'm glad you agree. We could place you with the Falkland Islands Dependency Survey working in Antarctica, scientist bods. Happy amateurs, very passionate like yourself. Of course, you'd probably have to sort a few things out with the other name we saw on the paper before you go. I hope that wouldn't be too difficult, considering...
Pero qué más os da, tío, que esté ahí el nombre.
The other name, Clara, you mean?
Lovely name. Probably for the best she wouldn't be able to go. Oh, not my say-so, I'm afraid. It's run a bit like the army down there. No women allowed.
No se permiten mujeres.
Whose say-so is this?
I can assure you this is bigger than any one person.
Bigger than 2 people, you mean?
I see. Well, you signed those papers on your way in earlier, so I'm at liberty to tell you a little more. Things in the Antarctic, they've been a little strained recently. Lots of vested interests, territorial claims overlapping. Some sides wanting to secure the resources under the ground. Now, this kind of thing has been going on for decades, of course.
What kind of thing?
Oh, the Germans were flying over there, dropping swastikas in big circles. Before the war, that is. All a bit ridiculous, really. Now, I'm afraid it's the Soviets we've got to contend with. Bit of a royal mess, if you ask me. Still, we're trying to work with them.
Work with them? May I ask how?
You may. It should all be in everyone's interest, you see. Every country signed up to something called the Antarctic
Sí,
Treaty.
eso está ahora.
All a rather clever bit of politicking that happened behind the scenes a few years ago. Set up to ensure that Antarctica is used
Exacto, eso
for
sigue ahora, a día de hoy.
peaceful purposes. No weapons are to be used. No one can make any future claims on the land. Now, if it sticks, everyone will be frightfully happy.
Sí.
Every side content that they've staked their claim. No more aggression, let's say.
Vale, sí.
Sounds sensible.
You'd have thought so. We've managed to placate the Soviets so far. This is all strictly confidential, but the sounds coming from Whitehall are not good. We're rather worried that it might all fall through.
¿Y eso?
I'm sure you are, but how does this affect me?
Well, in addition to the climate science you'd be able to do, tracking the radiation in the clouds and so forth, we'd like you to inform us of any other sources of radiation out there, what the readings are. If there are any bombs being set off on the continent, it's important that we know as much as we can about them. We don't know what the Soviets might do next.
Entiendo.
You'd be using the very best equipment, as I said. Useful for your career. Useful for us.
Joder.
This is still climate science, yes?
Absolutely right. The less we're involved, the better, really. But as I say, if you can help us in this small way, it would certainly help that career of yours.
My career's fine. Thank you.
Well, after speaking with a few people, Professor Hargreaves, for example, I'm sure that whatever your academic ambitions, after working on something as important as this, you'd have no trouble progressing. And if nothing else, think of the adventure.
No, sí está bien la aventura,
What a
pero
reward
a cambio
for
de
your hard
lo
work.
otro es que tanto...
What do you think?
¿Qué opina?
All right. I'll consider it.
Please do. Sorry, I've got a meeting in Westminster in 20 minutes. We'll have to cut this short. It's been very good to meet you. Do let me know.
Vale.
And if this Clara thing feels like a sticking point, all I can say is sometimes we all have to answer to something greater than ourselves. Why not think of it as an opportunity for you and to do what's right?
I see. Well, I'll do what's right. You can trust me on that.
I hope so. Women come and go. This is for your country.
Joder, tú. Todo para que quite el nombre de Clara de la tesis. Madre mía. Vale. ¿Qué es esto? A ver. Transcripción del mensajero recibido. De agregado militar de Estados Unidos, comunicaciones de la Antártida. Noruegos al tanto de la emergencia. La Marina noruega envía a su buque gemelo para el rescate. Atentos a la avioneta de reconocimiento. Igual es la que ha pasado antes. El avión os esperará a las 18 horas. Tenéis órdenes de preparar una camilla para un herido. Y llevadla a la zona de aterrizaje. Vale. O sea que el buque que hemos visto ahí... Ahí hay algo. Hay algo ahí. ¿Barcos? ¿O qué? ¿Qué es eso? Un momento, sal. Mantén... Ah, no. Pues ya lo hemos leído. ¿Ha pasado algo por aquí, no? ¿Qué es esto? Ah, es para volver a entrar, ¿no? No, pero yo aquí no tengo nada más que hacer, ¿verdad? No. Se ha guardado, es que no sé si dejarlo aquí, chicos. Lo dejamos aquí aunque al final... Es que no sé, tío. Lo dejamos aquí... Es que llevo una hora ya, me da un poco de cosilla. Pero claro, es que no sé cuánto queda de juego. Hombre, a ver, aunque sean luego 10 minutos de final, pues 10 minutos de final, ¿no? Sí, yo creo que lo vamos a dejar aquí. Es que me da cosa que veáis un vídeo tan largo, la verdad. Así que nada, encima estoy súper asada de calor. Voy a ir a darme una ducha rápida ahora. Y nada, pues... El juego, o sea, me está pareciendo interesante ahora, ¿eh? Esto del final, esto de la tesis... La cosa es... ¿Habremos aceptado... O sea, no sé si está en nuestras manos aceptar el ir a la Antártida o no. Pero el tema de que íbamos en la avioneta... estamos aquí en un lugar lleno de nieve. Es como si estuviésemos en la Antártida, ¿no? Igual sí que lo aceptamos y estamos ahí y tuvimos ese accidente. No lo sé. No voy a hablar porque no tengo ni idea. Pero bueno, cualquier cosa, chicos, me lo dejáis en los comentarios. Cualquier opinión, cualquier, no sé, comentario, pues eso, me lo dejáis abajo. Os dejo también mis redes sociales, como siempre os digo, para que me sigáis por ahí. Y nada, y nos vemos en un siguiente vídeo. No sé cuánto durará. Imagino que en el próximo episodio ya lo terminaremos el juego, porque no era muy largo. Que igual incluso en este lo podemos haber terminado. Pero bueno, si el siguiente vídeo dura 5 minutos, pues dura 5 minutos el final. No pasa nada. Así que nada, un saludito y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. Adiós.